welcome to Vertical Academy, and in today's video we're going to look at earth geometry, and in particular we are going to look at distances between points that are in the same longitude and also distances of points that are in the same latitude. So you have to understand some of the key concepts and the difference between a longitude and a latitude. Now, what you see on the board is we have an imaginary earth that has got lines, or should you just say grids of lines. So the lines that are coming from north to south, those are longitude, okay, from north to south, or rather the vertical lines. And then we also have the lines that are running from west to east, or rather vice versa, meaning east to the other side of the earth. And those lines refer to what is called the latitude lines. So we are going to see what is the formula that you must be able to use when you are finding the distance of points that are in the longitude, and also when you're finding the distance of 2 points that are in the latitude. So without much further ado, now before we dive into this, into the details, remember to support me, like our video, subscribe to our channel. If you're watching us from YouTube, if you're watching from our TikTok, follow our account, Vertical Academy. If you're watching from Facebook, remember to support us through following this page as well as liking this page. Well, that's what we are asking from you, so that we can keep on increasing the number of videos that we produce, and each time we produce a video and post it to any of those platforms, you'll be the first person to be notified, because you have been following us and you have liked our Facebook page. So let's now dive into this. So now what you have now, what you can see is what you can see now is we have a longitude, and we have said that a longitude is that, and a latitude. So this is a longitude from north to south, and this is a latitude from west to east, or rather east to west. So what is the formula that you use in order to find the distance of 2 points that are located in the same longitude? And this is the formula. Okay, so we have to understand how this formula works out. Okay. So now we have distance. So D is actually distance, equals to theta over 360 times 2 pi r. And we have capital R. In the previous video, we looked at what R is. So R is actually the measured distance in kilometer. It is the 370, and the nautical miles is the 487. And then the theta is actually the difference in the latitude. So let us see. So let us see on this example. So if you are looking at the longitude, then we can get these points B and C, because this is a longitude. So we have point B. If you have not actually watched how you are able to collect the points, you can actually go to our YouTube channel and watch how you can go about that one. So this one is 30 degrees north, 100 degrees east. Okay. So remember, there is a video that we have done on how you can be able to collect the position of the points on the Earth's surface. So if you are not sure about how we have actually collected the points, I encourage you to go back to that video and watch a bit more on understanding how you can be able to collect the points, so that you can come back to this video with enough information so that you don't actually get lost. So I'm not going to dive into how you can go about collecting the points. I'll just refer you to that video. Okay, so we have that, and then also we have this other point. It is 50 degrees south, and then also it's the same. Okay, so the key fundamental here is that when you look at these points, they are the same in terms of the latitude. Remember, a latitude could be either east or west. So in this case, our longitude is east, so we can see that 100 east, 100 east. And then now we can see what is differing, okay? This one is upper, meaning north 30, and this one is below the equator, this is 50. So when you have such a case, or where the points are giving you are coming out in that manner, then the formula to use is this one. So first of all, we are going to find out. So we have what is our theta. Now, when you have the theta, what you do is that you go to the latitude, okay? You go to the latitude. You go to the latitude, and you have the other one north and the other one south. So what you're supposed to do right there is you actually add those angles, or actually you add the latitudes together. Okay, so this one is going to be 30 plus 50, and it's going to be 80 degrees. And that is more like the angle difference, okay? And after you find that, then you can just go back to the formula and plug the numbers accordingly. Now, let's just say our distance should be in kilometers, and you're going to be able to use the radius of the Earth as 63 at 70 kilometers. Okay, and that's what you're going to use. And therefore, so meaning the distance is just going to be, so I'll just say BC equals to theta over 360 times 2 pi r. So, and remember that the radius, okay, the radius, the pi could just be 3.142. Okay, just to make things simple, but it will actually depend on what the question is all about. So the pi can differ depending on the question that you are actually facing, or rather answering in the final exam, or whatever kind of task that you're doing. So you can actually, the radius could be different, okay? So to make things simple, I'm just going to have the radius is 3.142, just something that we can round off as to that number. So there, we're just going to say 80 over 360, okay, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 3.142, multiplied by 370, okay. So then, once you do that, okay, now we can use our calculator now. We can use our calculator now to find the distance there. So now, our final answer now is 8. So now this is our final answer, okay? So now, remember that in the final exam, you have to follow the significance in terms of rounding off. You have to understand to what number of significant figures are you going to leave your answer in. So is it 2 significant? Is it 3? Is it just the whole number significant? So you have to be able to follow the instruction in the final exam. Now, for the purpose of showing you, just to understand what is a formula and how you can apply the formula, this is just the basic of how you can go about it, but there is a lot more of in terms of what the instruction says about rounding off. So we have to also pay attention to that. So this is about longitude, the distance of 2 points that lies in the same longitude, and this is how you can approach the question. So thank you so much, and we're going to now go into the other segment over the same about latitude now. So the latitudes are the ones that are in horizontal, okay? These, okay, so they run from east to west, okay, but they are measured from north or south. So because the latitude is divided, what demarcates the latitude is the equator. So anything above the equator is a northern hemisphere. Anything below that, it is a southern hemisphere. So now let us look at that part where you have to find the distance between 2 points that are in the same latitude. So remember, stay tuned.